Hello folks, it's Julie. I'm going to give you some real talk here, just an informal ramble based on a conversation that I had with someone recently. A young person was talking to me about when you give up on a dream, and they seemed really convinced that if they didn't make it by a certain point in their life, that was when they had to just decide it was never going to happen for them, and that they should just go get a more lucrative but less fun job. And I guess this is actually a pretty common misconception about artistic careers, that you have to go compete for a limited number of slots, you have to try really hard to get in, and there's a time limit on it or something, that you just have to keep trying to get some kind of whatever you think success is, and if you don't by a certain time, you just have to give up. That's completely untrue, at least with writing. I can understand why some people feel like there's more of a time limit on it if their profession is physical and they're required to be in a certain standard of physical health, which is only possible for, maybe the first half of their life. But for something like writing and many other kinds of art, it's not accurate to say at all that there's a time limit on it. And I've said in another video that we have this kind of fixation on the idea that we have to make our living, make our money, make most of our money doing the art that we love, or else we've sold out, or we're not actually being artists or something. And it seems like a lot of people, just for the chance to work in writing and say that you're a professional writer, they'll take writing jobs that aren't what they want to write. Like they'll go into journalism, or they'll write advertisements or something like that, which is fine if you're good at that, like doing that, feel that it's helping you flex your muscles and learn how to use it in a professional context. But some people are doing that and they hate it, and they just want to be able to say that they're doing writing professionally and somehow think that that's going to be a path to the kind of writing that they want to do, writing their own material that's, not controlled by somebody else. And so I just want to say, you don't have to put a time limit on it. You don't have to say, if I don't get signed to a literary agent, or I don't get a book deal by this age, or after this many months or years of trying, then I give up. This is a lifelong thing you'll be doing. Even if you do succeed, you'll be constantly trying to do better than your last book. You'll be trying to maybe make better sales, you'll be trying to learn new skills, you'll be trying different genres maybe. Everything is going to be a journey, whether you have to spend longer trying to get in or not. And, I'm not saying this from the top of any heap or anything. I know that I'm not some kind of guru or anything. I'm one author who has had some luck and some successes. None of my successes have been massive or anything to get super excited New York Times bestseller wise. But, it's like, I have had a day job throughout all of my writing career. I've found ways to make it work. You don't have to starve or torture yourself while you're trying to make it. You can make it slowly. You can make it with lots of help. You can make it on your own schedule. And there's not any kind of rule that says, in order to make it as a real artist, that you have to devote yourself entirely to that until you make it or until you quit. That's just not how it works. So if you have this dream, you gotta understand that you can be chasing it for a very long time, and that's okay. And there's not any point where you have to just say, okay, I didn't make it and it's time to give up or grow up or something. And this is the thing that I want to come back to, the conversation I had with this young person. They had pressure in their life from older people who thought a writing career was impractical. I mean, sometimes it is if you think you're going to make your whole living from that. A very few writers get to make their living entirely from their writing. And many of the people who do are in a household that has more than one income anyway. So it's it's a struggle to figure out, what do you say to somebody who is being discouraged by people who are saying what they're saying out of love. They're trying to get people to understand that the chances are low and that it's not likely to be something that will put food on their table and keep a roof over their head. Those are true things, but they're being very irresponsible by suggesting to these young people that, they, in order to dream about succeeding in this field, they have to be either extremely lucky or extremely foolhardy or both. It's just not true. You can have a career that puts food on your table that doesn't have anything to do with writing, or maybe it just has a little bit to do with writing in a different field than you want to be in. And you're doing these things because you do have to eat, you do have to pay your bills, and there's nothing sellout about that. And it's also not going to destroy your career or take away all of your time, because if you were able to be in a situation where you could focus all of your time and energy on writing, there's a good chance that that would benefit you, but there's also a good chance you would burn out because there would be so much pressure. There would be, 24/7 you're thinking about this same thing. And also, there's the fact that if you put pressure on yourself that, oh, I'm gonna take a year off school and I'm gonna write this book, and if I don't succeed, I guess I'm just gonna have to get a corporate job that I hate. You will put so much pressure on yourself that it'll be very difficult to get in touch with the part of you that does this for fun. And so you can find a place in your life for your art that doesn't require you to starve and doesn't require you to sacrifice everything else for this goal. You can continue to have this goal, chase this goal, while you make practical choices. There's never a time in your life where you have to just say, I tried and I didn't succeed, so now I've got to give up because it'll be better for my future. You should only give up if there's some reason that you feel like you don't want to do it anymore, not because you're feeling pressured not to do it anymore by external factors. Chances are, if you were ever called to writing in the first place and you try to quit, it won't let you. So you might as well resign yourself to doing writing in your spare time anytime you have it, and maybe sometime that you don't. I hope that that is comforting to some of you who have this dream but feel like it might be out of reach and that you have a lot of pressure on you to succeed within a very short amount of time. So that's going to be all for this one, and I'll see you guys next time.